I am Chip Rowan with the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel, and you are watching In the Know. Today we are at West Overton Village, and with me is Aaron Hollis Jr. And Aaron is actually the co-executive director for West Overton. Hello, Aaron.
Good morning.
Yeah, it's a cold morning here in West Overton.
Finally feels like fall, almost winter here.
Yeah, I bet Christmas is right around the corner.
Ready or not, here it comes.
It feels like it's coming full speed. You have a big event coming up for Christmas. You want to tell our viewers what they can experience here at West Overton?
Sure. So this is called Christmas by Candlelight, and it takes place Saturdays and Sundays in December before Christmas Eve. And it is a guided candlelit tour of the Overholt home that was built in 1838. And along the way, we learn about Christmas traditions from the 1800s and how they evolved into our own today.
Okay. Advance tickets for this, I think, is the only way you can attend, correct?
Yeah. And that's because we use real candles and real oil lamps inside of the house. And we want to make sure we don't have too many people in there bumping into things. So to buy tickets, you can go to our website, to our social media pages, and there you'll find an Eventbrite link. That'll take you to the Eventbrite website, and you can buy your tickets there and register for one of the tour slots we have.
And so the tours are on Friday or Saturday and Sundays, is that correct? And the time for those?
4 p.m. It's 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Tours start every 30 minutes.
Okay.
So whenever you go to the Eventbrite link, you'll find there a 4:30, and so on time slot between 4 and 8 p.m.
And for your social media, how will people find that? What's the address for that?
So we are at West Overton Museums.
Okay.
On the socials.
At West Overton Museums. Okay. And your website is?
It's westovertonvillage.org.
Okay, excellent. Good for folks to know. Cost of the tickets.
So the cost is actually our standard admission rate. So that is $12 for adults, $10 for seniors, students, and armed forces. And we do offer 2 free admission options for this. So one is to our members. So if you're a member of the organization, you get this for free. The other is we are a member of Museums for All. And what that means is we're committed to allowing people to visit our museum at little or no cost to them. So if families receive SNAP benefits, there is a ticket purchasing option on the Eventbrite link where they can purchase a free ticket.
Excellent.
So that is valid for up to 4 members of the family to come in and tour this for free. And that's actually good all year round. So anytime a family wants to come into the museum for a tour, they can do that in June, July. It's not just for Christmas, it's all year round that we're open.
I saw the information, if they don't want to do the Christmas tour, there's another tour available too, for I think it was $5.
Yeah, so the guided portion of the tour is the $10 option, because that is where all the work is, and
Right.
that's really the special part. But if visitors want, they can come and pay $5 and they can tour our new exhibition, which we might have the chance to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
They can go into the summer kitchen where we're going to have some hot cider, some other treats, and they can come in here to the Carriage House and see some of our 19th century carriages and sleigh.
Excellent. So take us back to 1838, and people are going to be walking through this house. What are they going to experience here on the tour?
Sure. So the most exciting part to me about Christmas in 1838 is how unexciting it is. I think today we have this idea that Christmas in the 1800s was big and lavish and exciting, and that might be true in the latter part of the century, but in the 1830s when the family lived here, they barely celebrated Christmas at all. So each room of the house is decorated to a different time period when the family lived here, because the Overholts lived here from 1803 through the 1920s.
Okay.
That's a long time, that's a lot of Christmas. So each room is a different time period, and the part of the tour in that room covers the family's Christmas traditions of that particular time period. So we go from almost no decorations when the family did not celebrate Christmas because they were Mennonites and they just didn't do that at that time, through the last room that is 1870s, 1880s. This is Victorian time, this is a big tree, and by the end, we see Christmas traditions that our visitors are going to recognize.
Now, the family with the German heritage, is that correct?
Yeah, so if you go back far enough, they're actually Swiss.
Okay.
And the family have lived in Switzerland, we know, since I think the 900s.
Okay.
They lived in that area, and then for a while they lived in Germany, and then eventually immigrated to the US.
Okay.
So they do have a lot of German customs. And that's what makes this interesting too, because your Christmas traditions at the time period really depended on which area of Europe, and even especially which region of Germany your family came from. So your neighbor down the street might have a different gift giver. Your kids might believe in Santa Claus. They might have Belsnickel come visit them, and the next neighbor might have Chris Sprinkle come visit them, or another gift giver. So Christmas today is fairly standardized.
Right.
We all have different meals on the table, things like that. But most kids who celebrate Christmas believe in Santa Claus. We all have a big tree. We all have gifts under it. But in the 1800s, that wasn't the case.
Was it uniform?
That's right. And so that's part of the tour is kind of saying, you family to family, your customs, your beliefs might differ.
So it's going to be nighttime when you go up. Most of the tour will be at night.
Yeah.
It starts at 4, so it's getting dark. Yeah. Sorry to say it gets dark early. You'll have candles in the rooms, and the trees will be lit, those sorts of things?
Yeah, so on the trees, and visitors will be carrying LED candles.
Sounds safe.
That's right. But the rest of the candles that are going to be in the windowsills, on the furniture, the oil lamps, all of those will be real candles. Okay. And that's the only light on the tour.
I imagine it looks pretty from the outside, too, just seeing all the candles.
Yeah, you can see a little bit of glow through the windows.
Yeah. Now, there's some treats that you can give the guests here, too. You want to talk a little bit about some treats that are available?
Sure. So this is at the end of the guided tour, but also this is something that the people who don't take the guided tour can access. In our 1830s summer kitchen, we'll be serving wassail, or wassail, which is basically a hot spiced apple cider. And that has a tradition from Britain, from the Anglo-Saxons, from the pagans. And we don't get too much into that history, but it's sort of something else that our visitors will recognize. So that's hot apple cider that is spiced with cinnamon and nutmeg, and clove and oranges, all the wonderful Christmassy spices and flavors. Additionally, it's sort of up to the person who's cooking in the kitchen that night what they make exactly. But the wassail happens all the time. But sometimes there's a boiled pudding,
okay,
a bread pudding. So that is basically a rough dough put inside of a sack. Then the sack is boiled in water for a long time. Okay. And it turns into a loose bread-like consistency. Some visitors really like it. Others, they appreciate their modern foods. Sometimes there's gingerbread cookies. It just kind of depends on what the person cooking in the kitchen wants to make and what kind of ingredients they have on hand. But those kinds of treats are included after the tour.
Great. So the wassail will be available every night, generally? Okay. Yeah. And we're actually going to have a recipe card for that you can pick up. Armstrong's happy to help sponsor this event this year. And that's something we thought would be neat for a take-home.
Yeah, absolutely. We're grateful for the sponsorship, and the recipe card is a great idea. And because we always have people, oh, this is delicious, how do you make it? And we list out the ingredients they never remember. But this is something the visitors can take home, make it themselves for Christmas, right, with their families.
Sounds good. Now, we are actually in the Carriage House right now.
Yeah.
And behind us is a sleigh. And this sleigh is part of the tour also.
Yeah, so at some parts of the tour, we try really hard to be historically accurate, and that's especially true in the house. But in this building, we kind of throw all the caution to the wind, and we will have a burlap bag stuffed with gifts here, like Santa Claus is about to pick it up with the reindeer. We'll also have other presents being loaded into our carriage there, and also our buggies. So we're gonna have lots of gifts and wreaths and more modern-looking decorations in here. But visitors are welcome to come in here and read some of the panels, see some of these old vehicles. If they so chose, they could take a photograph here in front of this old sleigh.
That would make a great family Christmas picture in front of this sleigh.
Yeah, I think it would. It would. I do have to add, though, that we can't have people sitting on the sleigh or the other vehicles because they're very old and fragile. Yeah. But standing in front would make it beautiful.
But it's going to be full of presents, so hopefully they can't get in there. That's true. That'll kind of restrict that. For the kids, you have some activities for the kids too.
We do. So scattered throughout the museum, we'll have a couple activities, and those are still coming together, but the two I know we're going to have is a paper ornament making activity. And those are actually based on real ornaments that were made in the 1860s and 70s. We found a couple, we found them in books and collections of ornaments, and we've replicated those so people can make real historic looking ornaments. The other one is, we do this every year. This is stringing a popcorn and cranberry garland. So we'll have some families sit for hours and they'll just all string together popcorn and cranberries. Other ones will make a piece about a foot long and say, okay, this has been fun. But yeah, those are two sort of old-fashioned kinds of things that people can make.
Depending on the patience, right?
That's about it.
How patient they are. And they can take these things with them then?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
The paper ornaments and the strings, so they can actually put them on their own tree.
That's really cool.
Take a piece of West Overton home with them.
There it is.
Yeah. You have, in addition to Christmas, you have another exhibition that's happening here. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So this just opened in June of this year. Our new exhibition is called Forging Ahead and Falling Behind. And this is a really exciting project for us because historically West Overton has been about the Overholt family. It's been about Henry Clay Frick. And never have we told the stories of the 200 plus people who lived here around the time of the Civil War. And so this is really about, the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. We explore the lives of 6 individuals who lived here in the Overton community. This is a farmer, a miller, a barrel maker, a housekeeper, a weaver, a miner. And we explored their stories through census records, through the store ledger that we still have here, looking at the things they bought and sold to draw conclusions about their lives. So we see how the Industrial Revolution impacted their jobs. Did they lose their job to machines? Were they forced to move somewhere else to find work? So this is about the Industrial Revolution and its impact on the people of this community.
And that tour is available even after Christmas is over. That's still something that folks can.
It is, yeah. Now the museum will actually, after Christmas is over, we're gonna go into hibernation.
I wondered about that.
Yeah, till the day before Mother's Day. So
Okay.
May 13th, 2023 is when things will reopen here. And then visitors can again tour that new exhibition. It's a permanent exhibition, which means it's going to be up for about 5 years.
Okay.
And they can tour that and then take the regular tour of the house that's about the family who lived here, but not their Christmas traditions.
Right. Excellent. So, folks, if you want to see West Overton before 2023 in this winter, you better get out here soon. And if you don't mind talking about the dates again for the Christmas by Candlelight.
Not at all. So the first one is December 3rd. And that morning, I should add, we have a vendor market here as well. That's going to be 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. In the Overholt room, 30 craft vendors. Christmas by Candlelight, December 3, 4, 10, and 11, 17, and 18. So Saturdays and Sundays in December before Christmas Eve, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Okay. The crafts, are those Christmas related typically?
Yeah, usually, yeah.
And that's just that one Saturday, just the
Correct. Just that one day, 10 a.m. to 3 in the museum basement.
And for tickets, they can go to Eventbrite.
For the Christmas by Candlelight, yes, tickets exclusively sold on Eventbrite.
Aaron, this sounds like a great event. I'm looking forward to seeing it. So thank you for your work here.
Of course, it's my pleasure, and thank you for being here this morning. Thank you again to Armstrong for the sponsorship. We're really excited about it.
Yeah, we're glad to be part of it. It's going to be a great event.
Okay, thank you.
I'm Chip Rowan, and you're in the know.